Solving two-step equations. And I know we've done some of this already before, but we certainly need some more work on this. It says using properties of equality will solve by doing the same thing to both sides of the equal sign. So again, you're doing the same thing, but it is going to be the inverse that you do to both. So for this example, you have 2x minus 6 equals 12. So what you need to do, and again we're going to draw a line below this, is get rid of the number that's by itself. Okay, you have to start with getting rid of the number by itself, leaving x on one side and numbers by themselves on the other. So since this is subtracting 6, we're going to add 6 to both sides. And when you do that, you would see that you get 2x, bring it down. And then you're going to add these together, which is 18. And when you get 2x equals 18, now you have to be able to get rid of the number with the variable. And since it's multiply, the inverse of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide by 2 to both sides, and 18 divided by 2 is 9, and 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 1x is x. So that's how you're needing to do this. I know that you've, again, done this before, so hopefully this is not looking new to you. So go ahead and hit pause if you haven't already, and copy this format down. So let's look at 3 more problems and see what you can come up with. So I'm going to let you go ahead, hit pause, and solve this problem. Alright, well, the first thing that you have to do, again, is work with the number that is that is by itself. You always start on the side with the variable. Okay, so we have 5 here, and since that's a positive 5, we're going to add a negative 5, okay, or subtract 5, however you want to look at that. It means the same thing. Draw your line below it. This is going to give you 0, so you get 4d equals, and then we are going to subtract this because I have unlike signs. Different signs means to subtract, so I get 32. Now I divide both sides by the number with the variable, and again, not negative 4, it is the same number. We've got to make this a positive 1, and same signs are positive. So we're dividing both sides by 4, and we get d by itself, and 32 divided by 4 is 8. Now it's always good to go back and check and plug this number into our equation. So we can take 8, and 8 times 4 is 32, and 5 plus 32, does that equal 37? Yes, it does. Go ahead and solve this problem. So hit pause and solve. Alright, now what you want to do, again, we're starting with the numbers with the side with the variable. So we're getting rid of my 21. So we're going to add a negative 21 to both sides. And this gives me 0. And I get 11x equals, and then this is a 2, sorry. Since we have same signs, you are going to add. Okay, same sign, you're going to add. Different signs you subtract again. So same sign, and we get a negative 22. Again, same sign, sign stays the same. This is where we got to learn our integer rules again. Okay, and you can look at it as subtracting 21 from both sides, but I think that is more confusing to most of you on whether you should be adding these two numbers together once we get a negative in here. I think it causes a lot of confusion. So just know that you're always adding its opposite to both sides. So again, negative 21, so this is an addition problem. Same signs, you add, sign stays the same. Now we have a division or multiplication problem, and we need to then again divide by the number with the variable. The same number, not the inverse. Okay, it's inverse operation, but it is the same number that you're going to divide. Okay, not a negative, or that'll give me a negative 1. which would be negative x, and we do not want a negative x. So this one we have different signs, different signs. You're still going to divide, so 22 divided by 11 is 2, but different signs are negative. Okay? That's where a lot of our confusion sets in, because we're putting addition integers and then doing division integers, and that confuses a lot of students usually, so be very, very careful with that. And we get a negative 2, and again, you can plug that in. Negative 2 into this would be a negative 22, and 21 plus a negative 22 means that we different signs you subtract, and we get negative 1. And the last one, I'm going to let you go ahead and solve this. So go ahead and do that. Hit pause. All right, so now it's negative 4w minus 4 equals 8. Okay, since this is, a lot of you look at this and say, oh, well, that's a positive 4, I got to subtract. One thing that I would probably recommend doing is just like we do on subtraction problems with integers, negative 4w, change it to addition, opposite of the second number, equals 8. Okay? This right here is the same thing as this. Okay? Subtracting 4 is the same thing as adding a negative 4. So we have to add 4 to both sides. Okay? So if you want to change this to this, feel free to do that. It might make more sense. Then we get negative 4w equals 8 plus 4 is 12. And now we can divide both sides by the number with the variable, and it is going to be a negative 4, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Same signs are positive when we multiply and divide. So negative 4 on this side, and we get w equals 12 divided by a negative 4. That will be a negative 3, because we have different signs. Okay? That is what we have for today. You're going to have to be very, very careful today with your integers. That is probably where a lot of our confusion sets in. Remember, when we add or subtract, we are doing the inverse operation and the inverse of this. So take the opposite of that sign, because we're trying to make negative 4 and 4 into 0. Okay? When we are down here with the division problem or a multiplication problem where you divide, again, same signs are always positive. Okay, when you do that, that's why it has to be the same number that you do to both sides. Otherwise, we would get a negative w, and we would not want that. Okay, so again, good luck on your assignment today. And if you have further questions, certainly refer back to these problems, and have a great day.